Greetings, my friends, it is I, Kolar, the Unkilled. And to abuse a cliché, all good things must come to an end. Thus, so shall it be for Ingvar the Scholar, as this is most likely going to be the final video featuring this character, as well as Grandma Shirley here, whom I have had an abundance of fun journeying with. Although I am going to be in the process of restructuring my load order to fit in the TPOS2 files, all of which have been made modular, which I do not like, but I understand why it was done, and I would like those files in my game, in addition to some of the new things that have been added to TPOS2, new locations, NPCs and such. So I'm going to want to check all that out. And as for Grandma Shirley, don't get me wrong, I really appreciate this mod and its existence. It is a fitting tribute. I was expecting a bit more in terms of situational awareness, that type of dialogue. For instance, those of you who have used Inigo are familiar with when Inigo gets to certain places or around certain people, he makes comments and remarks of his own. I was expecting a bit of that from Shirley. Thus far, there hasn't been anything, and I have read in the mod description where the author, or authors, rather, plan to add more of that in as time goes on with further updates. So perhaps at some point in the future, I would very much love to revisit the Shirley mod, and because that's just such a great tribute to a true Skyrim legend.
Calm down, Tiger.
Okay. That's another thing that bothers me about our Shirley follower here, is she is constantly telling me to calm down, Tiger. That gets rather annoying after a time. Today we are going up to Ralbathar, and we are going to obtain Aegis Bane.
I don't know.
Another unique item.
Looking for trouble.
And for you, Maul, I simply do not have the time.
You can pretend not to hear me all you want.
I can pretend not to hear you all I want is quite right. So, having Aspens Ablaze in the load order, the best part of that for me is the variation in color for the Aspens. It's not all just one color, but I know there are other mods that I can obtain that do that regarding the color of the leaves. And something else, I don't know how evident this is from your vantage, but from a distance, with this mod, for some reason, many of the leaves on the trees appear a bit insubstantial, as if they are, I don't know, teetering on the knife's edge of existence, perhaps? I don't know how else to put it. Or they're ghost leaves. You can barely tell. There are indications that there are leaves there until you get closer to the tree, where then they can be seen just fine. And I do enjoy the bark textures as well from Aspens Ablaze, so great mod overall, but I'm probably going to need the space. There we go.
Close enough. Now ain't this a surprise?
Well done, Grandma.
I'll have down that.
Lord have mercy on you! That's your best, huh?
All right. Look at this beautiful Dwemer door. Look at the detail. It's astounding. Yes, it really is rather excellent. Now then, I do not believe I have been into a Dwemer ruin with my current lighting setup. So, this will be a good indication of how those are going to look.
You picked a bad time to get lost.
Looks like I'm not doing anything. Whoa! An acrobatic finish for you, Bandit Marauder. And you can see I'm still looting. I'm still looting even though this is the last session I'm going to have with Ingvar. I just cannot help myself.
This what you want?
Hey, you're using my shield. And a fine shield it is, too. Whoa, where'd he go?
You won't leave Skyrim alive!
Whoa.
Are you ready to meet the divines?
Granny was doing some sort of a spinning kill maneuver in that shot. Finish her.
I cannot miss.
Finish her.
Is it all?
Ah. That was disappointing. Now, this is definitely one instance where I do favor the Skyland texture. Overall, I think the Skyland Dwemer texture is a little better than this. This one, I've said before, this one does blend into the natural look of the land and the rock work a little bit more effectively. So, I don't know. It's a bit of a toss-up. I'm not sure what mod it is that put these glorious wooden tankards into my world, but I do adore those splendid little things. All right, let's get on with it. Watch out for the trap. The lighting here looks fine. Nothing spectacular as far as the window shadows effects are concerned.
Is someone there?
Oh, I completely missed that. Oh, I just bashed Elaine Dufont to death.
I'll show you.
I ended him rightly. Finish him, Grandma. Finish him. This is your last chance to shine.
Kill you if I have to.
Nice work.
And Ilya uses her ebony mace to finish that guy off. Interesting. So, here we have Aegis Bane. A rather nice-looking warhammer, if I do say so myself, in the sledgehammer tradition. Leather wrapping and studs on the shaft there, if you can see. Some Nordic carvings on the head of the hammer itself. We'll be taking a closer look at that. Yes, another volume of 2920. I had amassed quite the collection of books here with Ingvar, so that endeavor is going to have to begin anew, because I do plan on continuing reading these books. I just won't be reading them as Ingvar. I'll simply be reading them as myself.
Any loot?
Nice work. I want to get into the ruin proper and just take a little bit better look at the lighting. See, sometimes in the patch with window shadows, these types of lights cast these amazing patterns of shadow on the wall, but I'm not seeing that here.
Nice work.
Nice work. Now then, having obtained that weapon rather quickly, I feel that we have time in this video to obtain one more, and so I'm going after Amarin's family sword, which was last sighted at Halted Stream Camp. Should not be much of an issue for the three of us to penetrate the defenses of this camp, which is actually a mine, or a camp surrounding a mine, if you like, and discover this sword within. What? Dalmor? Stop. Stop that.
That's all you got.
Suplex of doom for you.
Nice work.
Thank you. We handled them. Now on to the real target. My axe is thirsty. No archers allowed. Ha. Oh, beautiful.
Do your work.
Nice!
Are you ready to meet the Divines?
Where is she going? What? A beautiful sun. Alright, let's go. Let's go inside. Let's get this sword and end this. Now here we have effects from window shadows. That is more along the lines of what I was expecting to see within the Dwemer Ruin. Ooh. That mammoth snout was trying to writhe its way from the cart.
Yeah.
Whoa! Ha ha! Cleaved the axe halfway through him. Now let's go. So this is...
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Gotta have a sharp axe to cut through all that fat.
Hurry up with it. We've got a merchant in the pit to take care of after we carve this thing. Did you hear something?
Get the mage! Ah!
Prepare to die.
Hey! Ooh! Well done, well done. Yes. And this I'm very excited about. I have added Skyrim, Sky Realism Shiny Imperial Heavy Armor. Finally, this glorious armor was ported over at a reasonable size, and I greatly appreciate that. Okay, you know what? There's no need for me to collect any of these things. But we will be getting the weapon. Yes, Amren's family sword. Look at that. I love the unique appearance of this sword. Of course, it is a curved sword, because Amren is a Redguard, and this sword has been in his family for generations. It appears that it has been... I mean, it looks like it's generations old. It's been sharpened and resharpened many, many times. The handle itself looks like it's been rewrapped many times, but the steel, the iron and the steel, remains as it always has been. This is a lovely piece of work for a early game unique item. Wow. Look at what I found. I'm taking it. Because I cannot help myself. Maybe I'll give it to Ilya. So Clever Charfs does not cover landscape, which would include the cave and mine wall textures. Although honestly, from a distance, my friend, if this is vanilla, which I believe it is, it does not look that bad from here. Now watch what happens when we get even somewhat close to it. Yes, it turns into goulash of a sort. Oh, that is why I must have a landscape texture mod. And no, I won't just download caves by themselves. That would be a waste of a slot in my mind. And here, my friends, is a closer-up look at Aegis Bane, one of two unique items that we obtained tonight. And I was going to do the same thing with Amren's sword, although because it is a quest item, it will not allow me to set the weapon down, getting a better look at it. But I think you've seen it, haven't you? Yes, you have. There it is. It is well done. And here we are back at Brightwood, Grandma Shirley's house. And I do love the custom assets and all of the sort of grandma Easter eggs that were included inside of her home there. Some of those custom assets undoubtedly responsible for the large file size, relatively large, that is, for a follower. And that, unfortunately, is another one of the reasons why I'm going to have to, most likely, have to prune that mod from my load order, because it's nearly 100 megabytes, and I do believe I'm going to require that space, either for the TPOS2 ends, or perhaps a landscape. So here she is over here by her telescope, with her new glorious axe that we discovered. Well, Shirley, it has been an honor.
Yeah?
You are a true warrior, and a true daughter of Skyrim. And now it is time that we part ways for a while.
Maybe we'll meet again.
Indeed. I will be back to hear the rest of those stories. Well, my friends, that is it. And speaking of stories I hadn't mentioned until now, but Shirley has many, many lines of dialogue recorded for the stories that she tells in-game based on a few of her actual characters that she recorded herself playing as in her role-playing series. The stories are worth hearing and will be familiar to any of you who have watched those series. So, my friends, I recommend the Shirley mod, and check out Grandma's channel as well if you have not. It is linked onto my own channel. I have been a long-time subscriber of hers. I have often cited her as being one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all inspirations for me embarking upon this particular journey. Yes, I even sent her one of these glorious Inigo shirts. Haha, yes! Once she discovered Inigo and fell in love. But on that note, my friends, on that note, I remain Kolar the Unkilled, as Ingvar the Scholar, for the last time. And my friends, as always, I thank you for watching. I'll see you next time around.